new young bride. Little crazy.
Come here. I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb. Always the Lamb.
Groom with his bride. Then he was a householder with children. And in the last statue.
Do you remember what the bride was wearing? Did she make a good choice?
Place. I pray God for provision for him, for comfort for him, for a sweet bride, his children.
Wake your bride up so we can rise, so we can live into the anointing and the purpose and the plan. May the pain...
So you had this very, very young, early 20s bride who was all of a sudden...
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. And you just think, you know, Lord...
But that's a perfect bride. Isn't that cool? Can you imagine?
And he began to drink. I think it was just having a new bride, and he's fearful. But it just seemed...
From his kisses, and the God exclaimed, "Since you can never be my bride, my tree
and flesh of my flesh." Again, we see the bride and the groom. Verse 3, God walks into the picture.
Make sure we are the bride you thought we were, and not all the bullshit.
Two are being prepared as part of the bride of Christ.
And the reason is, I knew the bride, I met the groom.
He saved us to offer us up without blemish, without spot, before Him as a bride. Purity in the
will be with them. That's what we want. The bride longs to be with the bridegroom more than anything else. Water before the wedding as a symbol of purification before her husband accepted her. In Athens, the bride was bathed in the waters of...
There is no marriage in heaven, is that we're all the bride of Christ. We have a bridegroom.
The redemption. When the Son has received His redeemed humanity, if you will, His bride, when all...
groom is coming for the bride. What an anticipation of a...
decks himself with a garland as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. That's the great doctrine of justification.
North Korean bride I interviewed, her former bride I interviewed, remembered the price for which she was sold.
To the non-Jewish bride, he has circumcision. How do you make in the 21st century, Muslim bride acceptable?
Stepped outside with his new bride, Pam, and he turned to Pam and he said,
"So don't, think that I just paint them with this broad brush, hate the FAA and,
Actually, that we did in the Middle East, where the bride very dramatically walked down the aisle. To
make up the Son's bride will be